All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's Wellness Wednesday. I definitely appreciate all of you guys for coming. Today, we have a very, very special guest that's going to be joining us named Kimberly Sanders to share her powerful, powerful story. But I want to just jump in right now and I want to share a little bit about me and a little bit about why this is important for me and why this has made a difference. Hello, how's it going? Thank you for joining, Mr. J. Joshua. How's it going? So yeah, so basically for me, I pretty much lived like a typical standard American lifestyle. I look at everyone that's in America as like, I was just the norm, doing everything pretty much standard. And like most people that follow the standard American diet and the standard practices, I developed a disease. And unfortunately, that disease was an autoimmune disease that actually caused me to have extreme pain and stiffness in my spine. I was literally waking up at the middle of the night in complete agony. I couldn't even move. It was so hard to get out of bed, and I was only 25 years old. It felt like I was hit by a car and I was in like a terrible accident, but I didn't do anything that would cause any kind of an accident. There was no lifting something heavy. There was anything that would make sense as far as my back. So going to the doctors, they diagnosed me with this autoimmune disease. And that autoimmune disease, the medication they said was $4,000 a month, and I could not afford that. And there was no other option. They didn't give me another alternative. They didn't say, hey, you know what? You could try changing your diet, or hey, you can try this alternative, or, I know another alternative that could potentially help you. It was this or nothing. And so it was really a big wake-up call for me. And the first time in my life that I was faced with like, holy crap, like I'm freaking sick and I'm suffering with something and it's going to be like this forever. The medication was supposed to be forever. And so I really didn't do anything for the next 4 years because I didn't know what else to do. They didn't give me any options. So it actually got worse. It got worse. The pain got worse. The tightness got worse. I couldn't exercise. I couldn't lift weights. I couldn't really be kind of like a functioning human. And I'm in my mid-20s and I'm like, what the heck? Like, this is outrageous. And so it wasn't until I actually was faced with my dad passing away that sparked me to say, you know what, I need to make some changes. I gotta do something. Like, he passed away way too early, way before his time. And it was just another kind of wake up call that like, hey, this life, we're not invincible like we thought we were. And so what happened was I went back to the hospital. I started taking the medication. The medication made me really, really sick. The purpose of it was to weaken my immune system, which led me to getting the flu, which completely destroyed me and left me in bed for 3 weeks straight, where I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't talk. My voice was so gone that it was like, I couldn't even tell people I was hurt. It was so gone that it was like nothing was coming out. And so I actually thought like, this is it. Like I was 29. I'm like, this might be the end of the road. And I was searching everywhere to find out how to get better. Google searches, asking people. Someone recommended me to watch the documentary, What the Health. And that was the first time in my life that I even learned that diet and diseases were even related. Before that, I had no freaking clue. I just thought I could eat whatever I want. I used to say I had an iron stomach. And yeah, trust the doc. I mean, everyone's just like, yeah, the doctors, trust the doctors. And so I decided I'm going to try what it recommended, which was go plant-based in the documentary. And within a week, I felt better. I hadn't been sick in 4 years since that decision. So it was a huge life-changing thing for me. I was like, whoa, this is amazing. And it sparked my interest to say, you know what, I need to look way more into this. There is something way bigger here and something really, really big happening here that we need to really, really look into. And so that prompted me to start doing research and just looking into it, and actually got certified as a nutritionist because of this. And I said, I want to make sure that I have proper nutrition, and I continued learning and growing. But the problem was my autoimmune disease in the beginning. Like that was the whole spark of what I wanted to change that. And it wasn't until I learned about the company that we work with now. We have these incredible superfoods that was able to help me to get off all of my symptoms and all of the medication that I was taking from the autoimmune disease. And the reason why the biggest factor for me is the soil health and the gut health. So the soil health of the foods that we recommend to people that we're going to be sharing about here in a minute are grown in regenerative soil, where it has volcanic ash in a lake bed, which is incredibly nutrient dense and nutrient rich. The biggest problem that we face in America is the soil depletion. It's predicted that there's only about 30 to 40 years left of topsoil, and after that, there's barely any nutrition in the food. So what was happening is I was super nutrient depleted, even though I was eating all these foods, right? And then the other factor was the gut health. So I was actually having a leaky gut, which was causing food that I was eating to go into my bloodstream, which was causing inflammation, which was causing the autoimmune disease, right? It was like the root cause. So when I was able to find the gut health that we're going to talk about here in a minute, that was able to fix my gut so that I could have the proper absorption. It wasn't leaking anymore. It wasn't causing the inflammation. And what happened was that pain went away, right? But the problem now that I'm personally facing is I'm in the position where I'm rebuilding my strength and I'm rebuilding the flexibility because the damage had been done to my spine. The damage had been done to my spine. So I don't have the same flexibility like everyone else, right? And so that's one of my huge focuses now. But what I'm incredibly grateful for is having less inflammation, having less pain, and being able to share this with other people as a solution, because most people that get an autoimmune disease, they develop another one 4 years later on average, if they don't change anything, because it's the same root cause. And so I was at 5 years. So I was at the 4-year mark when I was first diagnosed. So I was probably, if I didn't change anything at that time, most likely, because I didn't change anything, most likely I was going to start develop another one. So that's where I'm at here. And I would love to share our special guest today, Kimberly Sanders. If you could share your story and how some of these foods has impacted you, and what are you excited for about the future?
Wow, thank you so much, Kevin. I just love hearing your story every single time because we get little tips and tricks every time. It is so mind-blowing. So my name is Kimberly Sanders, and I'm so happy to be with you all today. This is my absolute life mission purpose, to just be able to have these types of stories and this type of support to people on this planet. I've been allergic to basically everything since the minute I came onto this planet. My mother's milk, wheat, soy, dairy, sugar, all of it. Like, I have been like allergic to basically everything. I had to grow up on like Fruitios and like everything. My mom really had to work hard to figure out what was wrong with me. If I had any ice cream, like when I was little, I would be so sick on the toilet, just dying. Any type of wheat, any sugar, nothing. Like, I don't even know if I've said all of this so far in all these different stories, but I've been really not well for many years. And then I just heard another friend's story the other day, and she was saying stuff that actually just reminded me that I was on so much antibiotics when I was little because I had strep throat. Like, I can't even remember how many times I had strep throat. And so that meant antibiotics and everything else. So on top of being like just allergic to everything already, then you go in with antibiotics that kills your gut microbiome as well. And then at around 9 years old, I knew that I didn't want to eat animals anymore. And so I was like, I'm going to just eat plants only, and I'm going to work that out. So at 44 years old now, I have been plant-based basically since I was 9 years old, and I was allergic to dairy all those years. So I never had dairy for that reason. So that's a blessing. And now come to find out that most of that food is going to be the most toxic laden product on the market anyway. So blessings to my needs to keep it the cleanest ever. So I've been on a mission to find the cleanest food on this planet, and we have found it. So, you know, it's been 7 years. I was introduced to this company through my Ayurvedic doctor. My homeopathic doctor, and his Ayurvedic food and our products, because they are so clean and they're so pure. And so in my world now, I've been building the health and then guiding other people into it as well. And that makes it so that people are like, okay, I can do this as well. I'm that you can create a location. You can create a location freedom business that makes it so that you can guide other people and offer the opportunity, just like Kevin explained, to really provide the cleanest food on this planet. And for me, I can't eat wheat. I can't eat certain things. I have different reactions. So I am just so thankful that I basically have been living on Purium and all these superfoods for the last 4 years. We're in the middle of the 10-day, and I'm taking it to the next level of just like Purium all day long. Even yesterday, I didn't even have any other food that you would buy at a supermarket. I'm just on superfoods and aminos and water all day long and all night long. And I'm amazing. Like, it's just the most amazing feeling. And it's the most amazing feeling too, because we know that, like Kevin explained, our superfoods are grown in regenerative soil, being just watered with the best spring water ever. And it's the cleanest food out there. So I'm just elated to share this with you all. And what I'm excited about for the future is to know that we have solutions, and we have a fully locked, stocked, and loaded business opportunity for anyone. At least when you join me, I train you, I teach you, you're going to have the superfoods in your life. And so it doesn't even feel like you're selling anything. You're just authentically sharing this truth that you've stepped into so wholeheartedly that you would be doing a disservice if you didn't share it with every single person that you meet. So that's what I'm excited about, is because there's so much opportunity that we have. First of all, have the cleanest food delivered to your doorstep in compostable packaging. And second of all, to have a business opportunity unlike any corporation, any company, any job in the whole entire world. And you will be able to succeed if you stick with it and know that, like, if you never give up, you will succeed with us. So that's what I'm excited about.
Thank you so much. That's absolutely incredible. Can you share one really quick thing about glyphosate and some of the dangers around it? And then we'll jump right to Jenny and hear from Jenny as well.
For sure. Thanks so much. So, this just blows my mind that when I came into Purium, it was like the GMO label was so important to me. Like, I'm like, oh my God, GMOs, like, thank God they're labeling everything. And now to come to find out that, yes, GMOs are the worst news ever, but glyphosate is the worst news ever, because it's going in and making micro tears in your gut. And if you just popped on, Kevin just told his story of having glyphosate poisoning and what it did to him and the autoimmune disorder that ate his spine up. And bless it, because we have tools that it's regrowing. But glyphosate is there, and it's actually, we just heard another piece of information that it's not only making the micro tears in the gut lining, it's not only shriveling up your gut microvilli so that your body can't absorb nutrition, it's not only giving people cancer, it's also going like a steam train right to your brain, carrying the heavy metals right past your blood-brain barrier. So it's a pretty big deal on a certain level that we've seen more Alzheimer's happening, more dementia, more issues like that. And just 100 years ago, we did not have all these poisons. So blessings to the opportunity that Biomedic goes in and starts regrowing the gut microvilli. It releases and blows little explosions and grabs the glyphosate as well as C-reactive protein. So in our 6-week study, we had people only taking 1 capsule of the Biomedic. They were not on an organic diet. They were just eating regular food, only having 1 capsule a day. In 6 weeks, 33% of leaky gut was on the mend. 74% of glyphosate was removed, and 75% of C-reactive protein was out of the body. So that's pretty big, that C-reactive protein is the inflammation marker causing the autoimmune diseases and all the inflammation. So it's pretty special that we get to have a solution. And before Purium, I was just always out there screaming, stop doing things. But now I have solutions, and I'm so thankful.
Hey, Babs, you in there?
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing I want to say is I've always been like a really caring, compassionate person. And ever since I started this mission and I wanted to start helping people, once I made the decision, like I want to help people, you know, I made that way before I even learned about these foods. When I was going through my healing journey, I said, I want to share and I want to help people and I want to help make an impact. I've always been wanting to make an impact. Even when I was working in my previous jobs, I said, what can I do to make the most impact with when I'm right here? And so as I was sharing, many people have been able to see. And one person I want to introduce is Jenny. She was watching me online, sharing my story and sharing how this can help other people. And she's like, you know what? I'm in a similar boat. I resonate with what you're saying, and I want to jump on board as well. So Jenny, if you'd like to share how this has impacted you and your story.
Yes, thank you so much. And hearing both your guys' stories, like I just, I know we do these all the time, but I'm like just hearing, the stories all the time. It just makes me like be in the position I am now. Like, my why just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, like every single day. So just a little bit about me. My name is Jenny. I am 25 years old. I am from California. So when I was in my teens, I found out I had high blood pressure and high cholesterol. So that was like a very tough time for me just to like know that, okay, I have two diseases, not just one, but I have two. And I'm like, okay, like, it could be worse, but I'm like, well, I'm a teenager, not really knowing what's going on, finding this out. So like from that point, like you would think, oh, like I should have went vegan, but I didn't go vegan immediately. So I started exercising more. And then in 2016, I started my vegan journey and started learning all about like the variety of foods. I haven't even even tried, like just knowing that there's like so many different types of foods now, and knowing that there's just so much variety, and it's so awesome just to know, like, I know all the vegan stuff nowadays, I know it could always be improved, and like it's all like processed and stuff, but sorry. So in 2021, I really started taking my health like very seriously. And that's like when like Kevin was saying like he was on live with Samantha. And then I started like just learning just about all the superfoods and just like everything that he was talking about. And I was like, from that point forward, I really wanted to make a change and just really take my health to the next level. So, that's when I started the superfood journey, and it helped clear up my skin a lot, and my energy was really increasing. So you may ask, like, so what is your why? So my why for my superfoods is for my baby and for my future generations. I am 5 months pregnant, so it has been going well with the superfoods. I'm so grateful to just know like all these superfoods I'm taking are really going to help my baby when it comes in September. So I'm super excited about that. So I found out I was pregnant in January, and ever since then I started to be like very cautious about everything I was taking. And then like around, I want to say like 12 weeks around there, I was told I had to take baby aspirin for my blood pressure. And I didn't like really want to be on board with that. I was just like, oh, okay, like, all right, I guess, So I didn't know like about the ingredients until I like told Kevin about it. And then like he like sent me like a screenshot of all like the ingredients in it. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like, why is this in baby aspirin? Like, this is not good. This is not like, something we should be promoting. Like, yeah, go take some baby aspirin. Like, no. So like it really shocked me just to find out like all the ingredients in there. And it's so awesome, now that I have I don't know if you guys can really see it, the heart aid. So this has been helping a lot with my blood pressure, knowing that there is a healthy, all natural, all organic, non-GMO, superfood out here that can help me with that. And I don't have to worry about, going to the store and buying baby aspirin when I can literally just take 6 of these a day, like 3 in the morning, 3 in the evening, or like all at once. So overall, it's, it's super important to always like read your labels and ingredients with every single thing we eat, you know, especially if you are trying to get pregnant or if you are pregnant, like me. So yeah, that is just a little bit of my story. And I will pass it back to Kevin.
Yeah, that's so amazing. I'm so proud of you. And I was saying in the comments, like, I wish when I was in the womb, my mom was feeding me this, getting all that goodness inside. So what we have right now that we're going to share is called the ultimate lifestyle transformation. This is what most people start off with, that have the incredible transformations and have the best success. And we're going to go through a little bit about that. The first one that the first one that let's talk about is going to be the biomedic. Jenny, if you would like to share about the biomedic, it's basically a 30-day package. It comes with 60 meals. It's all organic, non-GMO, no binders, fillers, artificial flavors, grown through the organic farms, just like we talked about. But this is a great system to really start and to thrive on, so that you make it really simple and you have 2 meals a day, which is amazing. So this really replaces your groceries. And for me, this was like 80% of my groceries. So it actually did save me money when I got this one. So yeah, Jenny, let's talk about the Power Shake and the biomedic first.
All right, so I'll start off with, sorry, just grabbing my Power Shake. Yeah, so this is the Power Shake right here. Oh, sorry, I feel like it's kind of, you guys can see it. Can you see it? Or?
You have the blur filter on.
Okay, can you guys see it now? Okay, all right. Sorry about that, guys. So yeah, this is the Power Shake. I'm actually drinking it right now. So what I really love about this is that honestly, like this keeps me full till like lunchtime. And you know, I also take my super aminos with it as well. And you know, like how I was saying, like when I first started this, like it really helped cleared up my skin. And I was just like waking up every morning, looking in the mirror. I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm not like, of course I still use like my health products and stuff. I like make sure they're vegan and everything, but like, you know, I ultimately don't want to like have to like rely on like those health products and, you know, those stuff, because, you know, everything that our skin comes in contact with, it, you know, absorbs it and stuff. So like ultimately I just want to like not have to worry about that, save money on that, and just knowing that everything I'm putting in my body is literally like, you know, helping me glow and like not have to worry about those products. But yeah, so like I said, you know, it helped cleared up my skin and also helped a lot with my energy. I was like really surprised. I was like, wow, okay, like this is cool, you know, like when I first went vegan, like I don't want to say my energy like immediately increased. I did feel like more of a difference, like just from like when I would eat animal products to when I went vegan, like I ultimately felt better, you know, but I can't say like, oh my gosh, like I want to go on a run, like, you know, but like it just, yeah, it just really helped out a lot with that. And also too, like it helped a lot with my cravings. Like I was really like shocked about that, like because I still work at a vegan restaurant, but I'm going to be like, I'm not working there like in August. So yeah, it's very cool like knowing that like there's something out there that's not like making me like, oh, I need to go have a burger or eat some fries or eat some cake, you know. It's like, no, I don't have to eat that, because literally taking this with my aminos like literally like gets me through my whole morning, and it tastes delicious. And I've had other green juices before and they're all right, you know, but you know, there's still pesticides, herbicides, and all that stuff, you know, and then not taking consideration of the soil, you know, just like how Kevin was talking about. So yeah, and also like will help with your blood cells too. So help like rejuvenate your like your blood cells and stuff. So yeah, that's just a little bit about the Power Shake. And you know, honestly, like it just feels so like good just to knowing that it doesn't take that long. Like I don't have to like go to like Jamba Juice or like juice it up, knowing that like I could wait up to like 10 minutes because they may like have to like, you know, oh, I have to go in the back, get some produce, and you know, then there could be like a long line, they'd be waiting by themselves, and then it's like okay, like now you're waiting extra longer when literally this takes like less, like what, 2-3 minutes, if that, you know. So it's like super easy and convenient. So yeah, that's a little bit about the Power Shake. Did you want me to get into the biomedic right now? Okay. And so this is the biomedic. I'm gonna show you guys how it looks. So I usually take 2 capsules. They look like that. So One thing that I really love about this, when I first took this literally helped with like my bloating. Cause like when I started like my vegan journey, like I got like bloated a lot because, you know, like now you're putting more fiber in your body and your body is just like, okay, like what's going on, you know, especially if you're not used to like eating like a lot of fruits and vegetables or just fiber in general, or, you know, maybe you're taking like those fiber one bars or, you know, taking that fiber powder that people put in their water. Like my dad takes that and I'm like, why are you taking that? Like just eat some more fruits and vegetables. Come on now. Like you're making it harder upon yourself. And I but that doesn't taste good anyways. But yeah, so this really helped a lot with my bloating. And I just like always tell people, like people who like have stomach issues or they get bloated. I'm like, honestly, I haven't been bloated in like, I don't know what's been like almost 2 years, you know? And they're like, what? Like you haven't been bloated? Like as if it's like supposed to be normalized. Like, no, you don't have to be bloated like for the rest of your life. Like it's just so awesome and amazing. It's like, yeah, you know, if I were to like just eat like pure junk food for the whole day, like I know like my body will be like, okay, like something's going on here, like this is not right. Like I might experience just a little bit of bloating or maybe, you know, some type of upset stomach. But you know, knowing that I just take 2 of these a day and I'm good to go and don't have to worry about bloating, it's just like it's so awesome. And then also helping just a lot with my gut health, you know, like it's a probiotic and prebiotic. So like I used to like really take those a lot, but not really know much about it. And knowing that like the ones like for instance like that are refrigerated, you know, they're supposed to stay refrigerated, and then by the time it gets into our into our bodies, because you know our bodies are room temperature, it ultimately dies. So it's like, are you really getting the full benefits? Like it's just dying, like you're spending all this money. It could be like vegan, organic, non-GMO, you know, gluten-free, all this stuff, but is it really helping with your gut health, you know? And you know, knowing our gut health is our second brain. So like this, you know, has really helped out a lot. So honestly, like I remember one time, like I told Kevin, I was like, Kevin, I haven't like had like Biomedic in like almost a week. And like we made up because like I really need it. Like I can't go a day without this. Like this is like my water right here. As much as we need water, I'm like, I need this every single day for my gut because I'm like, I need to give it love just as much as any part of my body. So yeah, honestly, these two right here, I love it so much.
All right, amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. And yeah, the best thing about the biomedic is it like Kimberly Sander was talking about, all the damage that glyphosate is doing in our environment and into our body. It's removing that from the body, which is so critical to get that toxin out of there. And it's amazing that it can bind to the toxins and be able to pull it out through the humic acid and the humic ore inside it. All right, so Kimberly Sanders, go ahead and share a couple other things inside the ultimate lifestyle transformation.
Awesome. Well, the Super Amino 23 are basically my heart and soul. And I am just so thankful for these because this is pure protein that goes into your body in 23 minutes, and it feeds your cells and tissue and muscle, and it's the building blocks of what our bodies are made of. So just so amazing to have a plant-based protein, easy to digest. These were made for people that are sedentary in hospital bed. The neat thing is like people will say to me like, oh, I take amino acids, and I'm just like, not these guys. So just being able to really, for me personally, thrive on them. They cut sugar cravings. I wake up and I take more than recommended on the bottle, and I love that I've decided that, because I'll wake up, I have 10, I'll have like another round of 10 a few hours later, and sometimes even like another little handful. And that has made it so that I'm thriving on all of the superfoods that Purium makes. And you know, for me, I would much rather take some amino acids. It's said to be that they are 5 tablets is as much protein as a 6-ounce cut of steak. And, you know, I'm capable of being space for everyone and all of it, but to have to watch a piece of steak being made and then eaten and all of it, I'm just like, I would just much rather be able to eat my amino acids, and that's just for me. And then the thing is there's zero catabolic waste. So there's no heaviness on my body to break down that protein and have the body absorb it. And so, you know, when you're eating a piece of steak, it's like, okay, you might be getting about 15 to 25% of that net nitrogen utilization. And then the rest of that becomes catabolic waste that your body has to use its own energy to excrete. And, you know, our intestines are really quite long, and, you know, every body is different. I get it, but every body could utilize the protein that the super aminos offer. So I'm super thankful for them. And so that in your ultimate lifestyle transformation, you'll be taking those a few times a day with your water, and really just having that so much support because of those. And then the next item is the Super Cleanse R. And this is a really beautiful mix of different herbs that help with removal of parasites when used with a specific time frame. Like if you're taking them for 10 days, twice a day, and then you skip 20 days and you take another round of 10 of the Super Cleanse. But they have the black walnut hull, and the black walnut is for the parasite removal of the parasite, marshmallow root, clove, which is really beautiful for antibacterial and antifungal, and it protects the gut lining. And then it has the Cassara sagrada bark and sienna leaf. So these are all really beautiful herbs that are mixed just right. They really help the digestion and help with elimination. And they're going to go in and help us remove the critters that we really probably don't wish for. You know, parasites, it's pretty serious to think that we have parasites that are taking over our bodies and possibly eating the food that we have been so lovingly eating and things like that. So it's neat. It's neat to know that you can remove parasites out of your body. This superfood lifestyle helps you remove parasitic everything on every single level. So I am so thankful for those two allies that the ultimate lifestyle transformation has in them. So yeah.
I want to ask you one quick question. A lot of people see what you're eating and they hear your lifestyle, and sometimes I love when you say, like, you know, I eat all these superfoods all day long, and then at night I have, you know, just some veggies at the end, you know. And sometimes my people think, how can you, is that enough food? That's not enough food. Like, are you enough food? But the thing that's happening is you're getting way more of the vitamins and minerals that you possibly need, and you're giving your body all of the tools that it needs to thrive. But what's even more interesting than the question I want to ask you is, can you tell me a typical, not your whole day, but just when you wake up and when you sleep, and what is your work like? Because most people would think, oh, if you're not eating enough, then you're going to be tired, right? And you're not going to have energy. But for you, it's the total opposite. And I think that's important because it really proves, it's like the proof is in the pudding. You know what I mean? When especially watching someone like you. So can you just share about that?
Well, I mean, I wish to really lay it out in the time span that it's taken to be able to live this way now. And so like, I'm like at the end of the yellow brick road of being able to do this. Like, you don't just do this the moment that you start this way of eating. So before Purium, I did superfood smoothies for a good 10 years while I was doing hair, right? I would bring 64 ounces of water and 64 ounces of superfood smoothie, which had like blueberries and black like cacao and like all the different superfoods. And I tried to find the best, you know, superfood mix back in the day as well. And it didn't taste as amazing as what we get to have. And if, you know, and so I've been cultivating myself to be capable of eating like this now. And so I wouldn't just suggest this for anyone. When I do lead people through this system, I do have them start in a similar way where you have a good amount of water, can have lemon water and whatever lovely water. Some people put like Himalayan salt in it and rehydrate, and some apple cider vinegar. But I'll start the day with a good 10 aminos now, and, you know, super xanthan and chlorella. I eat handfuls of chlorella throughout the day. And then a couple hours, like an hour or so later, I'll do my my beet drink, which has like all the juice bar in a bag items and rice bran solubles. And I use a lot of the Aloe Digest and the ionic elements, because again, since I've had all those issues, I don't have a label. I don't know if I'm celiac or whatever, but I just recently even, my body's just not like able to do the biomedics still. Like I still have numbness in my hand for some reason. And like I say, I'm not willing to go to any doctor to have somebody tell me what's wrong with me. My body tells me what I can do and what I can't. And so I listen to it. And so, you know, I just eat a ton of ionic elements and a ton of Aloe Digest. And so sharing that with you all, mixing those two together, David Sandoval has said that that's a very similar way of removing the glyphosate. So I feel really thankful of that. And then a couple hours later, I'll have a green drink. And then a couple hours later, I have a round of aminos. A couple hours later, I'll have another green drink. And then usually I don't even need a third round of aminos if I'm having like, you know, a little bit of like avocado, cucumber, kimchi, some sunflower seeds. And, you know, I love to keep it simple, and it's really serving me. And I sleep. I'm thankful to finally go to sleep before 2 a.m. I used to be a person that would like go to bed at 2 a.m. and like wake up at like 8, but now I go to bed at like, you know, 10, 11 o'clock or so. Last night it was 12. And I usually wake up around like 5:36. And I swim as much as I possibly can throughout the week. I wish for every day. It doesn't always happen, but I swim and I have tons of energy. And I usually will take my aminos before I swim and then have a shake after I swim. And I'm just, it's an amazing concept. And I really work a lot with the sun as well. So once you kind of get yourself like thriving on the plants from the earth and the sun and grounding yourself and really cleansing all of the toxins, we're in the middle of a 10-day immersion right now. And it's the first time that I've really, like yesterday, I really took it to it was 4 drinks and then 3 rounds of aminos. And I didn't even really have time to eat an avocado that wasn't ripe at my house, and I didn't have any other food. So I just made a cup of tea and went to bed and feel amazing. And so today, so far, I've just had my aminos, my water, and my beet drink. And after this call, I'll have my first green drink, and it's already 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I've done this and I haven't withered away. In fact, I just weighed myself. I think I just gained like 3 pounds. So I'm like, I don't know what happens to my body. It's really bizarre. Yeah. And at one point I was around 141 and now I'm like holding at 150 and 152. So I've like thrown the scale away because it's just pointless anymore, and just feel so honored that I can thrive on this food. And that's what I fuel myself with. And I'm going to grow a garden too this summer. So I'm excited about that.
That's so amazing. Thank you for sharing that. I didn't really expect all of that. I was more curious.
Sorry.
When do you wake up and when do you sleep? So talking about sleep, one last thing to wrap this up. Okay, the very last thing inside the Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation is the apothecary. And this is what we take at night. This is incredible. It's tart cherry juice, so the highest quality cherries on the planet. And these are grown in Colorado in ideal, perfect temperatures so that they can have the full nutrients that they need. And these are super antioxidant rich, the highest antioxidants of any fruit, which means that it is creating a situation in your body that it is reducing the inflammation. It's producing the natural melatonin. So when you take this at night, which is critical at night, and this is why it's so important at night, is because when we sleep, we regenerate the most. It's the best. It's when we recover the most. People think, oh, all of the work that you do is in the gym. Not quite. Actually, the work is actually happening when you sleep. Okay, that's when it's what's putting back into it. So this is really critical because it's regenerating your body and it's getting your body in the deep REM cycle, which is so important. Plus, I mean, it just tastes so delicious. Like, who the heck doesn't like cherries? You know what I mean? And you can mix it with so many different things, recipes and drinks, and you can make it in so many different concoctions. It's super versatile and super easy to use. And that's pretty much it. That's the ultimate lifestyle transformation in a nutshell. It's the 60 meals. Like we talked about, each power shake is a meal. You have your aminos twice a day. You have your cleanser right in the middle to kill the parasites. And what this is, why it's ultimate lifestyle transformation, because it truly transforms your life on all levels. Anyone that I've seen that truly takes this seriously, truly does this, the right way. They take the ultimate lifestyle transformation. They have the right foods in between. Because if you eat, let's say you're eating this and then you're eating McDonald's or junk food and stuff like that, it's just gonna be a slow healing. It's better, right? But it's gonna be slow. It's like, but this is the fastest way of healing that I've ever seen for those that take it serious, especially if you're adding in the right foods in between. So I just want to thank you all for the guys that came. I definitely appreciate it. Anyone that's watching this now or watching the replay that invited you, they have a special gift card for you to try this out for yourself for $110 off to start this off, which is absolutely incredible. They have a special gift card for you, and there's zero risk because you have a 60-day money back guarantee if it's something that you don't like. And so there's absolutely zero risk. But honestly, I've never seen anyone do that because they absolutely love it. So I take care, everyone. And I want to say thank you and have a blessed day.
Welcome.